Why does someone willingly risk their life for views? I was in a classroom, bored out of my head. I thought, this life isn't for me. And one day an idea popped into my head that I couldn't ignore. It was called adrenaline review. I really liked the idea of it, actually. I went on my phone and I typed in adrenalinreview.com, available. And I went onto Instagram, went onto YouTube, available. And I was like, this is incredible. What do you think I did? I didn't do anything. Instead, I left it for 7 more years where anyone could have taken it. You could have taken adrenaline review. I'm so glad you didn't, by the way. A couple of months went by and my friend Curtis introduced me to this guy called Rafe.
This is what me and Harley are talking about.
Let me tell you about Rafe. This guy was the embodiment of energy. This guy was a showman when there was no camera around. If I've not mentioned he's a boxer, he definitely will. It's kind of like his only personality trait. Jesus Christ, we click. The energy that I have in my head is on another level. He matched the energy externally. Just the way that he was socializing with multiple people, the way that he was explaining stories, and the way that he basically acted without thinking. Jesus, he'd be good on camera. And from that day forward, me and him talked more. Me and him started to do project after project after project. We made countless podcasts together, and me and him were a teammate. Something happened after all of them projects. Me and you need to start investing into some equipment. Now's the time. We're going to regret it otherwise. I pulled the trigger and I bought a professional cinema camera, top end. It was incredible. I was so happy. I went straight to Rafe's house, unboxed it, I put it on the tripod and I pressed record. And something magical happened.
We need to get all the things that bring adrenaline and then we'll do them and then we'll rank them. Like skydiving, it's good, innit?
And it was adrenaline review, of course. I told Rafe, and Rafe was buzzing from day one. He said yes before knowing how.
Adrenaline junkies, that'd be sick.
He was like, Harley, this is sick. We could definitely do this. So I went on my computer, I went on my phone, and I got all the handles. Bro, look at that. Can you imagine that in your bio? Is this on camera? It's on camera. We started brainstorming about these ideas about like, if you were going to die on camera, how would you die?
I'd want to explode or something.
I'd want to get eaten by a shark.
Yeah, well, I would do both.
I want to get eaten by a shark and take its eye.
In slow-mo would just look sick. Yeah. And we were just getting to know each other, and we were like, mate, this conversation already is developing into something, and we've not done anything adrenaline related. We've just started the conversation. So that's the moment me and him knew that there was something in this. We were going online, we were looking at some videos, and we stumbled across this amazing adrenaline-fueled activity that was free. We just needed to get there, and it was called Running of the Bulls. When I tell you our eyes lit up, they lit up. We said, one of us needs to do this. We're not even a business yet. This is just an idea that we have. But one of us, maybe both of us, one of us needs to do this. So we got planning. I think the whole process, and I try and make everything perfect to the fine detail. I was thinking about setting up a business. I was thinking about getting copyrights. I was thinking about doing all these things that need to be done behind the scenes. Rafe was being the athlete he normally is. He was practicing. I was obviously filming him and things, him boxing and things, preparing, and we just didn't know who was going to go. Me and him were going back and forth with the reasons why I should do it and the reason why he should do it. About a month later, after this, something came up, which was a Red Bull event popped up in Manchester. Nothing to do with Running of the Bulls, but I thought it might be a good marketing campaign for Adrenaline Review if I dressed up in a red boiler suit, start talking about Adrenaline Review.
Everyone's going to be recording me, the guy in the red jumpsuit.
I bought 3 tickets. I bought tickets for one more person and a cameraman. And I wanted that person to be Rafe, but Rafe couldn't make it. He had something to attend, which is fine, things pop up. But let me introduce you to Adrenaline Review's MVP for life. This guy's called Daanyaal.
I'm the supervisor today. Judging you. I'll be judging your skills.
Our goal was to review the adrenaline. I think we succeeded. I was, of course, in my red boiler suit, trying to get Adrenaline Review in any sort of conversation with anyone there.
We're here for BMX. What are we running with?
Listen, Red Bull. Red Bull.
Networking as well. I wanted to network with everyone, and I met amazing people there. Got really good interviews, and I think small budget like I had, I think it was fine. I think we succeeded. While we were there, Daanyaal gave me some amazing advice that I would like to underline in this video. He said, Harley, I've known you for quite a while here, and you've got so many amazing ideas. You just need to do them. Full stop. And he's right. I am someone notoriously, that is stuck in their mind. My mind is like a theatre, non-stop videos, topics, or there's always stuff to do in my mind. Something clicked in my head when he told me that, when I was like, he's right, I've got everything, I've got the equipment, I've got the people, I've got the idea, I just need to do it. You will never guess who we met after that. This guy represents himself. He needs no introduction. There was MTB there was MashTag Brady. And Daanyaal said, talk about your idea to him. And originally I said no. I was like, no, it's fine. It's at the end of the event. I'm like, oh, I've already spoke to everyone. He went, no, talk to the guy. Right, okay, I'll do it. Yeah, sure, because this is why I'm here. So I pitched him the idea of adrenaline review. When I talked to MTB, when I talked to MashTag Brady, he was a really nice guy, actually. Really friendly, he was talkative. And I basically said, have you ever heard of Running with the Bulls? And he went, yeah, I was going to do it last year. He basically said, bro, add me, like, let's do it together. And I was like, sick. Yeah, let's do it. We just had a good conversation overall on camera. That solved one of my issues, which was it was going to be either me or Rafe doing it alone. I think from that moment we realised it's going to be me. What do you do when you just need to do it, but the thing you need to do is in July and we're in March? Unfortunately, I chose to wait for July, which annoyed everyone, which in hindsight, do some adrenaline if you're going to do some adrenaline. Anyway, I chose not to do anything. I just waited and waited and waited. I was doing things behind the scenes, like getting the copyright sorted, figuring out how to get a copyright, finding out what equipment I needed and things like that. 3 months, I did nothing. I basically just did video projects for people with the equipment that I've got, until it was time to go to Pamplona, Spain and run with the Bulls. Now let me tell you, I had a blast. The first day I arrived, I woke up extra early. I thought it was extra early, turns out it was not early. I didn't do my research right. I was 2 minutes late, couldn't attend the race. I spent that day interviewing people. Maybe it was a good thing because I learned a lot of useful information, like the microphone right there is unreliable, which is why I am exclusively using these now. Because one of the interviews that was amazing got muted, and it's probably my fault. Yeah, but it's muted, which isn't good enough. So I've had nothing but success with these, so I'm using these. I asked one of the policemen what time to be at this race to guarantee I can race, and he said 5, I think. He said 5. So I woke up at 2 because I'm not missing this race for anything. I've literally been screaming at people I'm going to be doing this race, so I'm not missing it. I'm not sleeping in. Went to the race, no one was there. There's just people messing around right there because it's a festival. It's it's just people messing around. I am in the streets on the race before the borders are created to create the race, because you actually have barricades on different streets to make sure the bulls go into this, to make sure the bulls run where they're supposed to be. I'm there before the barriers are even put down. And I walk up and down. I think I went up and down about 100 times. Because I had loads of time. I get my camera out from my glasses, not these ones, there's other ones that I got, my spy glasses. I just start documenting and talking to the camera. I can't remember what I say, I'll probably put it in there, but I can't remember what I say, but I start documenting. Have you done this before? No. Never? You? That's my first time. It's slowly getting closer and closer to the time, and more people are coming, more and more people are heading. It's getting more cramped, it's just getting more and more of a sea of white and red, until there's thousands of people. It gets so cramped that these police come in and they section us off from the rest. We're confused. Well, I'm definitely confused because I don't speak Spanish. These police are like, doing this, which means obviously move backwards. So we're all moving backwards, and until we get to the street where they go, get out. Everyone is petrified because everyone has woke up at different times, but everyone's woke up for the same thing, which is to race. Everyone starts running to the start of the race, including myself. I'm running my arse off. I'm running through the streets of Pamplona, and I get to Dead Man's Corner, and I try and get in, and there's police guarding it that's saying no, he can't come in. I run around another building where there is another entrance, which is even more at the start of the race, even closer to where the bulls are getting kept in the pen. I try and get in. No. Oh, some people did get in though. There was 2 people that slid in the race and dipped, and they got into the race. I wasn't one of the lucky ones. So I, once again, ran around the buildings again to the very start where the pens are. The very, very start. And I sneak my way back in. I don't want to just hang around where I've just snuck in. I want to, flee a little bit just so I'm not get caught. I meet this guy called Ivan. Right, let me tell you about Ivan. Ivan was the most chill guy going, and he was so up for being with me in the race, because me and him We're both solo doing this. We both was like, our friends couldn't make it, but we're still doing it anyway. So Ivan, you are amazing. And I'm staying with you. Everyone else is speaking Spanish, and I heard him speaking English, and I was like, bro, let's stick together. The time gets closer and closer and closer, and then this policeman taps me on the shoulder and is like, can I have a word with you? And we're like, yeah, sure. So I go over to him, and he was like, you can't wear your running bag. I had all my camera equipment and in my bag, so just after the race I can interview people, and the policeman was like, you can't have that, I'm not allowed to wear it, and he didn't give me any solution. And I said, what, do you want me to take it off, like, and put it somewhere? And he was like, where are you going to put it? Of course you can't do that. If you take your shirt off, you can put your running vest underneath your shirt. When there's when everyone's around me, when there's cameras, of course I will do that when there's cameras around. Oh, absolutely. I thought that was going to be the close encounter with the police that I was going to have there, until not even 2 minutes later, another policeman comes up and notices I have a microphone in my hand. Basically says, what's that? And I was like, oh, it's a microphone. And he said, you're not allowed to film. And he looked me up and down and looked at my glasses, and he went, and I think they're filming glasses as well, aren't they? And I went, yeah, they are. He said, this isn't a filming place. He was being very firm but nice, kind of, but he was, yeah, because I've heard the Spanish police do not mess around. So I put it in my pocket. But the irony was that every single person at that race was filming. They either had some sunglasses that had cameras in, or they had people blatantly saying, I'm gonna take my phone out mid-race and then vlog it. A sea of people wearing the same colour clothing, they'll pick on me. When the race started, I needed to put my real glasses on. I was a bit blind. I was blind because I didn't have any glasses. I reached inside my pocket to find my real glasses, and I must have accidentally picked up the filming glasses and put them back on, but I filmed the entire race. So on behalf of myself and Adrenaline Review, I am truly sorry to the Spanish police. It won't happen again. But since I've got the footage now, it'd be a waste not to use it. I started racing with the bulls, and when I tell you, it was manic. You had people not staying in their lanes. There were no lanes. They were just chaos. People zigzagging, people pushing. I cannot, don't underestimate the amount of times people push people. They will push you to the ground to run past you. So if you do running with the bulls, you have to be built. I think you have to be agile as well as built like a brick wall. I was okay, but there were like small people at the event, and I'm like, wow, there's no hope for them. We've run and run and run and run and run. We run past Dead Man's Corner, and then I see a bull coming towards me, and I shit myself. I am petrified. So I'm running even with more adrenaline in my system. I'm sprinting as fast as I can right now. I've lost Ivan. I don't even know where Ivan is. He's gone. Yeah, I sprint and sprint and sprint and sprint, and I see another bull and another bull, and they're running 10 times faster than I can. Yeah, running well fast. And these people are everywhere scattered about. About 4 people jumped right in front of me at my feet, and I had to hurdle them. People will run on top of you to get past you because it's either your life or theirs. And that is when the adrenaline hits, I think. I'm one of the lucky ones, and I didn't fall over. But for the people that did, I wish you luck. I wish you luck. We get to the end, and there's a big pause. I hit a brick wall that's made of people. Everyone halts to stop suddenly. Why is everyone stopping? I'm thinking this mentally. I went back to the hotel after the event, and I realised there was a lone bull that decided to stop and turn around and look at the group I was with. I can tell you how I felt then, which was annoyed, and because I didn't understand what was happening, but I think it's more important to tell you how I feel now. That is intimidating. There is a big, massive bull that's 6 foot wide, that is as strong and as hard as a car, staring at you. And this car is not just made of metal, it's got deadly horns on it that will spear you, impale you. Scary. And the fact that it was looking at my group, insane. Thankfully turns back around and runs where it's supposed to be, and the whole of our group is compact, and we basically start running forward after this bull. And we reached the stadium. We actually reached the stadium, and I can see it. There's still people in front of me, and
the feeling of actually arriving into the arena, words can't describe. Physically and mentally recovered from the adrenaline, and all I felt was pride. Since February, I have been talking non-stop about running with the bulls with everyone, and it has been moment after moment, decision after decision, waiting and waiting for this moment. And after I crossed the finish line, which is entering the arena, I felt calm. I just felt so proud of myself that I did it. And you'll never guess who I bumped into. MashTag Brady. I have a feeling I've ruined his video because it caught me by surprise seeing him, stared at him and basically screamed. I was like, oh my God, MashTag. So MashTag, if you're watching, I apologize, brother. I'm so sorry. But Jesus, it was an adrenaline-fueled adventure, and I'm so happy I did it. But I've not told you the scariest bit. No. This story isn't ended. When you're in the arena, they let about 15 bulls one at a time into the arena, and the bull can do what the hell they want. Yeah, you've got to either evade it or you either have to. Some people were jumping over the bull. Yeah, some people were jumping over, and if you're properly trained, go as close to the bull as possible. If you're doing this because you want to do some adrenaline and then review it after, I'd say you go in the middle, which is what I did. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. There's about 15 bulls, one at a time, getting released into the arena where you don't have any padding, you don't have any protection. It is just you, your muscles, your skin, clothes. That's about it. And it lasted about 30 minutes, maybe. That's what it felt like. It felt like hours and hours, but it lasted probably 30 minutes. In between the bull trying to impale you, they're playing all these types of music, which is cinematic. I felt like an absolute gladiator. You've got thousands of people are in the arena watching you because they're paying to see this bullfight. They're paying to see what happens to the winners of the race, which was us. When we're up against the wall and there's a bull in the middle choosing what direction to sprint, they want to know what happens. And I don't blame him. I'd be watching the same thing because it's adrenaline from afar. So everyone walks out, and the funniest thing ever is everything goes back to normal. Everyone walks out and then goes about their day like it's normal. That is honestly what I thought Pamplona, Spain was about. I thought people went there for one thing and one thing only, which was adrenaline. But to my surprise, it's so much more than that. The San Fermin Festival, running of the bulls, is so much more than adrenaline. It's about building a community, having a good time and celebrating success. No matter if you're an adrenaline seeker or if you're there just to have a good time. The San Fermin Festival, running of the bulls, has blown my expectations out of the water. I think I want to take everything from the San Fermin Festival, everything I've learned, where it's about building a community, celebrating each other. It just so happens that there is adrenaline part of it. Adrenaline there is not the main course. It's just a side dish. There's so much more to this festival that I never thought existed. I never knew. And it's a feeling that I'm going to treasure and take with me for the rest of my life. And I want Adrenaline Review to embody what I felt at that festival because it was so special. I want Adrenaline Review to embody what happened in Spain. Adrenaline Review should be a vehicle of community first. And it just so happens that there's adrenaline on the side. And I still stand by everything I said in the past. Adrenaline is within us all. You don't have to be an athlete to pursue something great, but maybe there is something more than adrenaline. And maybe that thing is building a community. It just so happens that adrenaline comes after.